Far More Than We Think, Making Sense of Spirituality by Angelo. Chapter 1. Food for Thought. There have been many wise words written over the years. This selection of quotes all make fairly obvious sense on first reading, but it is my hope that each one will mean even more to you by the time you reach the end of this book. Quote, "There is a principle which is a bar against all information, which is proof against all arguments, and which cannot fail to keep a man in everlasting ignorance. That principle is contempt prior to investigation." Close quote. It's by Herbert Spencer. Quote, "To be or not to be, that is the question." Close quote. Of course, William Shakespeare. Quote, "A human being is part of the whole called by us universe, a part limited by time and space. He experiences his thoughts and feelings as separate from the rest, a kind of optical delusion of his own consciousness. This delusion is a prison for us, restricting us to our personal desires and to affection for a few persons nearest to us. Our task must be to free ourselves from this prison by widening our compassion to embrace all living creatures and the whole of nature and its beauty." Close quote. That's Albert Einstein. Quote, "Imagine all the people sharing all the world." Close quote. John Lennon. Quote, "There is so much good in the worst of us, and so much bad in the best of us, that it hardly behooves any of us to talk about the rest of us." Close quote. That's Edward Wallace Hock. Quote, "Whisper words of wisdom. Let it be." Close quote. Paul McCartney. Quote, "God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference." Close quote. Reinhold Niebuhr. Quote, "Being spiritual has nothing to do with what you believe, and everything to do with your state of consciousness." Close quote. Eckhart Tolle. Quote, "The greatest power we are given is the power to change our mind." Close quote. Mary. And then finally, quote, "The mind is its own place, and in itself can make a heaven of hell, a hell of heaven." Close quote. John Milton. There are countless other quotes that I could have included, but these few cover most of what I want to talk about. There's a lot to get through, and where better to start than at the beginning.